All right, welcome back, everyone. I have a special guest with me tonight, host of WSO and WSO Live, Mr. Steve Olson. How you doing tonight, Steve?
Hey man, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm pretty good, pretty good. Staying busy. How
Oh
are
yeah.
things out there?
The good, very busy here too. Just a lot of stuff on the personal front, which is like, just so everybody knows, the volume of videos is down a little bit, but as soon as things level out, we'll be back to full production here. But yeah, other than that, man, yeah, really wild couple of weeks, don't you think?
Yes, yeah. Things seem to be ramping up. A lot of changes going on, a lot of crazy stuff in the sky. Yeah, we live in fascinating times, definitely. But I'd like to kind of start before we get into any of that. Just tell us a little bit about your background. If for some of my viewers who might not have seen your channel yet, I bet they have. But for the few that might not have, tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you down this interesting road.
Complete serendipity. It was one of those things where uh, I'm just a normal guy, average Joe, middle class, IT manager, program manager, that kind of guy, right? The kind of guy that goes to work every day, 9 to 5, right? That kind of thing. Hopefully gets a vacation once in a while, that kind of lifestyle.
Right.
And, and I like to listen to a lot of wacky stuff. So like I was one of the guys that would listen to Art Bell back in the day, and I would listen to Linda Moulton Howe and all those, paranormal, metaphysical type stuff back in the day. So I always had an interest in this kind of stuff. But Joe Rogan had a guest on his show a couple of years back, 3 years back, and it was Graham Hickok and Gordon Randall, and they were talking about what they felt that they had proven archaeologically, geologically, et cetera, that they felt pretty strong proof that there had been a major asteroid strike about 10,000 years ago on the Earth, and that it had hit the upper North American continent, where at the time was a huge ice sheet. Okay, at that time it was 2 miles of ice. It was the glacial period, and when that asteroid hit that, it melted basically the asteroid, or great area, that just changed everything, and that whole thing melted off, which they showed it, and they talked about then. That was interesting, right? The scientific, geological, wow, did this really happen 10,000 years ago? But then they went into a different series of arguments talking about man is a species with amnesia. That is, whatever we knew up to that asteroid strike, we know there were humans on the Earth 10,000 years ago, it's just fact, right? Whatever we knew up to that point was lost completely, right?
Yeah,
Cataclysm, over, reset, survival, that kind of thing, right? And then it got me to thinking, and then I started to go out and, on the internet and YouTube and start to learn about other theories of why would the human race seem to, or the human species, right, that rather go through this kind of major amnesia reset every period of time. And that's how I ran into the subject of Nibiru Planet X. Also, through my Bible, which is something that's interesting. I was a Bible student. I came through Bible school. That's where I met my wife. We, read the Bible cover to cover, exegized, Greek, Hebrew, the whole deal, right? And never did I ever consider the whole story of wormwood. It was almost like it was hidden to me until that light bulb came on after watching that Joe Rogan podcast, right? And all of a sudden, it was like wormwood, a star, leaves a trail, takes down 1/3 of the stars, poisons 1/3 of the water. What? That matches right up with these Planet X Nibiru people, right? And that's what launched it. So I started looking at webcams myself. And again, I'm just an amateur astronomer. That's all I would consider myself to be, and a big time networker of researchers. That's probably the biggest thing WSO does, right? But when we first started, man, I can remember looking at all sky cams. And the first one that really whacked my brain was the one at Irkutsk, Australia. And they since took that camera down off of all sky cam, but I still have the photographs of it. But it was a perfect three-dimensional object definitely in the sky, clear as day, right? And I was like, at that moment, I was like, boing. And then since then, I couldn't stop researching it.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you find out about this stuff, there's no turning back. And I think you could agree that the more you learn and the more you research, the less you know about any of this. It just gets more and more confusing.
Well, let's go down that road of the amnesia problem, right? So that's a clear problem in our human history, because I should be able to know the history of people 300,000 years ago, and I don't. We don't. Nobody does. We don't know. Okay. The best we can do is go back about 5,000 to maybe at the most reaching out 15,000 years for written history, right? So you have to go back to the Sumerians and the oldest text and the cuneiform and things like that. That's the oldest we got, right?
Right.
Everything else was wiped out, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing then that leads you down a different path, because then you find out about the cuneiform and the oldest texts, right? And then you start to learn about these characters called the Anunnaki. You start learning about this whole epic tale that we never knew about, but clearly our Bible came from.
Right.
Right? Isn't that wacky? These are the kinds of avenues of truth that start opening up when you start seeing this. It's almost like this thing almost like is a truth bomb, right?
Yeah.
It's the biggest truth bomb there is. And if this bomb hits your brain, if it hits your psyche or whatever, it seems like all the truth starts pouring in. Federal Reserve is an example. Right after that, I stumbled into and understood about how the financial banking system and the NWO and all of that stuff, how it all plays together, and how they've been playing us for 500 years into this very time, into this very phase that we're in right now. This is the end game, to find out that they've been planning their moves for that long is just, you know what I mean? And these are the kind of truth holes that you get into, or rabbit holes that you get into, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way. And another thing that a dead giveaway is the skies have changed so much. I mean, new cloud types in the past few years, how many have they had to name?
Great example.
And it's not even the same color sky that we're used to anymore. It's this pale blue that I don't recognize anymore.
Well, hey, Universal News Media, right? That channel,
Yes.
Newish channel, I should say, but she's growing really fast. But anyway, she's been covering Alaska really well lately. But we also get photographs from our network, and you do too. So we've all seen images like the one I've got right here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't a mind blower to anybody in this community, is it? Really?
For some of the newer ones.
Well, if you haven't seen any of these things before, guys, these are just to explain what this camera is. I just upped the saturation a little bit, so you know what I just did to that photograph. This photograph was taken yesterday at about 5:19 Alaska time. It was the northwest-facing camera of TOC, which is an FAA weather camera maintained by the United States government. Okay, these cameras have to kind of be real time. It's not a camera system they can take offline or manipulate very much, and here's why: because pilots use it for their very survival flying in the Alaska and Canadian bush. Okay. That's why these cameras can't get messed with too much. And they do take a lot of these frames out. I wouldn't be surprised if this frame was taken out, but these frames only last, I think, 16 hours. So you have like a continuous string of 16 hours. So if you don't catch these photographs, you're not going to see them. Okay. But we have people that watch these because I think our mutual networks have grown so big that we don't miss anything anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they send us photographs, but the disturbing thing is, here's that familiar red orb, but look at this big one, man. What the, right?
Now, I've heard theories that these could be some kind of a lensing system used to actually cover the planets, some of these larger objects. Now, I don't know. I mean, they look like they're rotating at times.
Right. Well, I don't have a series on this one to tell you if it rotated or not.
Right.
This one I've seen rotate many times, but as you have as well, I'm sure.
Yeah,
right?
I've seen that one, yeah.
But the thing that disturbs me about this one is that this is an apparent cloud layer.
Yeah, it
You know, all the other ones that I see with this larger orb usually have like a, I don't know, like they look like an optical instrument usually, right? I've always seen like Gary Sloan used to share a lot of them with me, and I looked at them and they look like technology to me. This looks
yeah. Now that you say that, it does look like clouds. Wow. Huh.
and this is the kind of eye that you get when you've like seen thousands of photographs, right? This
Right.
one this one is really this one is a shock. This one's a shocker right here, man.
Yeah. And that's not a lens flare.
No, and it looks like it's got an ice cap on it,
Wow.
doesn't it? Or am I just seeing things?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it definitely appears that way. Wow, that's amazing.
So what kind of stuff have you been hearing from your network lately? What's the big stuff? Oh, here, look at this.
Wow. Well, I mean, just the huge changes that we're seeing, not only in the sky, but changes in the earth. In Africa, the giant cracks, it's splitting in two. We have giant cracks and landslides all over the earth. The weather's going crazy. We have bombogenesis nor'easters as it's a new thing now. Uh, Earthquakes going off. We just had a couple of 7.0s the other day. I mean, the earth changes are apparent. I mean, it's undeniable.
Well, and that again, it's starting to. I was thinking about it today. I was driving and I was looking out. What I did was I just inverted that, by the way. So I have
Yeah.
to a little bit to get it back here. Oh my. And I was thinking about we have a list that we maintain here at WSO, right? It's the Occam's razor list, right? And we go through and we see, the increased earthquakes, the increased fireballs, the sightings from Earth, which I would count this one as one. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to turn off the invert. I think it looked better this way. Wow.
Yeah.
And what Occam's razor basically states is that when faced with a set of facts, and that's what I have here is just a set of facts or things that are observable, okay? Sightings from space, ISS, Elon, Core 2, and I put Elon's rocket in there, right? HI1, SDO, I've seen plenty of sightings from space. Some simulators is look, I mean, just go look at Jeff B's channel and
Well, yeah. So you would agree there's definitely sun simulators.
oh gosh, yes. And it's more than sun simulation. I mean, here's a guy. Let me show you something here that I think is a little interesting. Here we go. Naughty Beaver Knows Best Maybe by DG30. Okay, one of my loyal subs here. But anyway, he takes a prism, right? Just a basic prism glass or piece of glass. And what he's trying to illustrate is how they bend light away from us and what it looks like and what it would look like in the sky, right? Check this out. Oh, it better not stop playing. There we go. Come on. All right. See how it makes those little rainbows on the side that we see in all these photographs?
Yeah, sun dogs.
So we had something that finally got out the prism and showed us how it works.
Wow.
Including the black dot in the middle.
Interesting. Yeah, the little black dot. Yeah. Sometimes appears to be like a rectangle.
Right. And what they're doing is they're bending light. The sun simulator, I believe, is for it's used in conjunction with this. But I think the sun simulator sun simulator has a bigger purpose, which is really strategic food security. I mean, they had to do something quick to keep food production going, man, as long as they possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then they add these prisms and magic tricks, basically, because this is how illusion, fool our eyes and make mountains disappear. They do it with stuff like this, guys. And so working in conjunction with all these different components, we've captured pictures of their apparatus. We see big smoke trails coming off the energy that this thing puts off. they're using what's called a space power system that was announced back in the back in the 70s, and we have documents from the DoD that show them discussing the final pros and cons before deployment in 1989. And this thing makes power from the ionosphere. That's how they power it.
Wow.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, we did our research. It's not, they want us to be crazy. They want to assassinate our characters. They want to go after us and do identity politics. They troll the hell out of us. But, we continue to get smarter and smarter and connect more and more dots. But I think it's getting to the point now where it's like we're late in the game, don't you think?
Well, I mean, that depends. Things are ramping up. I would like to hope that we have a few years left to prepare, but man, I don't know. Things are definitely they're happening faster than I thought.
Well, we saw this escalation back in 2016 too. There was a big escalation in January where things really got dramatic, where we saw a lot more iron oxide cloud dust. We saw a lot more extra atmospheric clouds. That's when people started catching some really compelling photographs all over the world of what we call the Dave Dobbs set of objects, which is like that huge asteroid-looking thing that flies by us like every 90 days or whatever it is now, right?
Right.
At the time, that was enough. Yeah, at the time, that was enough for me to buy extra dog food. You know what I mean? But what I'm coming to learn is that this is a slow escalation of stuff, right?
Yeah, right.
And will there be a big event? Yeah. Will it be global? I don't think there's going to be a lot of global. I think there's going to be a lot of regional. And it's going to be an apocalypse to the people that live there. All right. So if you actually have to see an asteroid strike, near your city or whatever, and the devastation that something like that would cause, the whole world won't be destroyed by it. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
That's the good news. The bad news is that the people, that 70,000 or whatever people that might be affected by it negatively, it's going to be the end of the world to them. Right?
Right.
So I think people need to stop making this like looking for some huge worldwide explosion and look at what's going on right now and see that it is happening now. Right? So if you live in Peru and you are in one of these 8.7 point earthquakes, do you think that it's the end of the world? Dang right you do.
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
Right? Or if you're in Papua New Guinea and you're getting a 6.0 earthquake, 5.0 earthquake every day,
yeah,
you don't think something's wrong when you're living there?
Yeah, exactly.
Or even California. People that live in the west of the United States, they're starting to bug out of California. They're leaving.
Yeah, we've seen some enhanced activity out there recently.
Yeah, people are starting to get it and starting to say, we're out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I live on the coast myself, South Louisiana, so, I'm hoping I have enough notice to boogie myself.
Right. Where do you live on the coastline?
Well, no, I don't live on the coastline. I live probably maybe about 100 or so miles from the coast.
Yeah, we got family in the Benton, Shreveport area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A couple of them are in law enforcement, good people, But at the same time, Louisiana, that's kind of a low lying area.
Yeah, it is. It makes me very nervous to think about that.
But anyway, back to our Occam's razor. So Occam basically says the simplest explanation accounts for, it should be applied. And when you look at all of these things, it's like, well, okay, it could be a strange coincidence. That's not likely. They talk about the grand solar minimum, but the problem with that theory is that parts of our Earth are cooling down, right? So we have record ice in the Antarctic, but the North is melting. I get it. The North Pole is melting. I get it. But is the South Pole melting, everybody? Tell me.
No, we haven't heard anything.
No,
About
it is not. No, it is not. There's volcanic activity underneath that's causing some cracks. Yeah. But again, that's part of our list, right? Increased volcanic activity. Number
Yeah.
18. So anyway, we've got the planetary interactions, Kuiper Belt disruption. I think that answers a lot of it, right? Or number 4, we're entering parts of the galaxy we don't know about, right? That's possible. We could be running.
That's the one I like to go
Right.
with, because we're always traveling through space, and you would never think that we would run into any other objects or, systems.
Yeah, and then they talk about like if I go, I have a Google alert for sea level, right? And every day there's like 30 articles that come up on sea level rise, like the crisis of sea level rise. But then I turn around in our community and we're finding many places where the sea is receding.
Yeah.
What gives there?
And then you'll see a tidal surge on the other side of the world.
30 articles on Google, my Google alert, and not one of them talk about the sea receding in any of the places that we reported on in our community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you've got the Corey Goods of the world and the kind of David Wilcox with deep space visitors and huge spherical ships and the Andromedan, story. I don't know what you think of that.
What's that?
Number 5 possible reasons for our observations is that there's deep space visitors coming in.
Yes. I've heard that observation, and some of the objects you see, they could be man-made. I've seen square objects in the sky. I've seen, some crazy things up there.
And then or it could be that we're all the people that are observing this and coming to these conclusions in this community are crazy. We're just completely bat blank crazy. What do you think of that one?
Well, I know a lot of people that would agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure you get quite the amount of trolls.
Well, here's a counterpoint to this, right? So anything that the man, and when I say the man, I'm talking about the 3-letter agencies and the history of Mockingbird and all these different things. If they really want to discredit a movement or a community or anything, right? What they do is they'll throw the craziest of crazies at you.
Yeah.
And I heard a story by Robert Griffith, yeah. And he's an author and lecturer and pretty well known for his, the deep state and that kind of stuff, right? Tactics that they use. So one day he did an experiment. He sent 2 letters to the FBI under the Freedom of Information Act asking for basically metaphysical X-file like stuff, right? Anything he could get his hands on, right? And in one, he acted like himself, university professor, university letterhead, official request, well written, well articulated, well requested, right? The second letter he sent was he pretended to be crazy Bobby, and he tried to be as whacked out as possible, like somebody who is just one step away from, basically needing to go to an insane asylum, okay? Requesting the same information, okay?
Right.
Guess which one got the information?
Well, the crazy one.
Crazy Bobby got it.
Yeah.
And that just he used that story to make the point that the reason that you see so much schizophrenia around Planet X is for 2 reasons. One, because there's something about the idea that the whole system is going to get reset is awfully attractive to somebody who's schizophrenic. Okay? Right?
Well, I can imagine.
It's a painful disease to have.
Right?
It's painful. I mean, you're constantly seeing hallucinations. You're paranoid. You know what I mean? It's not cool. But the other big one that I want to put out there, though, is it's on purpose, man. It's on purpose. They want to. They find people and throw them a couple $100 bills, get on and make crazy YouTube videos and look as whacked out as they can. or to
Yeah,
troll. And
yeah,
we know that they have organized trolling organizations that are paid trolling organizations.
definitely. Oh yeah.
You know, they come to work, they get a project, they sit down. It's like your job is to troll, you know, Bobby John, you know, and they go after him.
Yeah, and I find the best way to deal with them is just don't respond. Don't give in to any of the taunting, and it kind of disarms them.
So anyway, I didn't know if you cared if I talked about Occam's razor or not, but
Oh yeah. Anything you got. This
this
is
stuff is blowing. This stuff we're getting in today is blowing my mind. This is an orb we've seen many times, right?
Yeah, let's get into some of those pictures.
Yeah, there's some good ones today. Of course, we got the big halo, which we've been seeing all the time now. It's like more frequent, right?
Yeah, I've never seen I actually have never seen a sun halo growing up as a kid. I just started seeing them recently.
I've been seeing them now for 2 years, so
Yeah, a couple of years.
yeah, 2 years. 2 years when I
Oh,
started.
well, look at him. Wow.
Yeah, we got a little guy there. We got one here that I'm interested in. This is one I'm interested in right here because it's just floating along.
He just seems to be stationary.
Yeah, seeing this a lot lately. Oh, let me go back. Been seeing this a lot lately. This 2 orb thing, man. I call it the Xbox logo, but
Huh.
yeah, I don't know what even to say about it.
That's a new one for me.
Oh no, this thing I've been seeing for 2 years as well.
Really?
Oh yeah, this thing shows up in so many pictures. Yeah, sure does. That double object, whatever it is. And then of course these are the ones that are starting to come in again now. I mean, there's no.
Yeah. The sky shadows.
Yeah, that's not a lens flare, my friend. I mean,
No.
you know what I mean?
No.
Usually
Yeah.
lens flares are bright, you know, like the sun.
Yeah. I got tons of those.
But this is like, you know, again, this is the only reason I think that we're seeing it so clearly now. It's not because I think necessarily, because I've been seeing stuff like this now for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And what we have to remember is the vastness of space. We don't know how close that object is. At least I don't. Do you? Right?
There's no way to tell how close.
There's no way to tell. It could be 10 AU away, 20 AU away. I don't know. Right? So, but the fact that we've been seeing this stuff with such regularity since 2015 tells me that it is closing in. And I think the one thing that really got to me last week was that orange snow in Eastern Europe. Did you see that story?
No, I didn't see that. What was that?
So in Eastern Europe, Romania, Russia, and parts of Eastern Europe, they're in the mountains.
Oh, the pink snow.
But yeah, it was orange snow.
Yeah, yes, I did see that. Yes.
Okay, and so when those are the kinds of physical manifestations that tell me that, again, it's just escalating, it's getting closer, because when we start seeing that, that's a little bit just unnerving.
Oh, but Steve, don't you know the official explanation was Saharan dust that blew for over thousands of miles?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Ask Naughty Beaver what he thinks of that.
Yeah, I love the explanation sometimes.
Well, it was the same explanation they gave for when we saw the phenomenon in England, and it basically obviated the chemtrail layer, obfuscation layer, temporarily, and that's where we got all those 2 sun photographs out of England. Remember that period?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was because that dust, I think, disabled a lot of their systems, right? So imagine our guy with his prism if it got covered in dust, right?
Yeah.
Probably work very good.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Or it fritz a little bit, right?
Right.
So I think the ultimate demise of the optical obfuscation systems will be the dust and things like that. Ultimately it's going to fry that. I mean, there's no way as this starts to become more frequent, and you get up in the morning and there's dust on your windshield, know that it's pretty damn close to everybody's going to see it. And the reason why everybody's going to see it is because the laser systems and the optical systems, these are precision optical illusionary systems that they're using, as we demonstrated, right? And once those things get taken out of commission, that's what's going to show what's really up there to everybody. But it's like we're kind of inoculated because we see this, right? So we don't freak because when we see that up in the sky, we're just going to be, oh yeah, we saw that in Alaska. We're not going to flip, okay? At least I'm not going to flip. I'm going to be like fascinated like a scientist. But on the other hand, we do know that that's not good news when you see something that close.
Yeah, it can't be. But yet, being that close, it's not having the effects that we were taught that it would have on us.
Well, wait a second. Back up a second there on that one. Let me beg to differ. This is exactly what they would told us what would happen.
Well, you would think they talk about gravity, okay, from what they say. If, obviously what we learned in school is not correct. Us being an electrical universe and not mainly gravitational. So my point was being that it couldn't be correct what they've taught us if these objects are so close and the theory of gravity, it wouldn't make sense. So basically, they taught us BS.
Right, I agree with that. Now, it's kind of teaching by omission, right? It's occulting knowledge, right? So, what I came to find out was that NASA does acknowledge it's an electric universe. They just didn't teach us that in school, because all the instruments you find, or many of the instruments that you find with NASA, are they're looking at the electrical system. Right? They're very interested in the electrical system at NASA, okay?
Yeah.
90% of their instruments have some kind of way of measuring nanoteslas, okay? All right?
Yeah.
So they knew, our scientific establishment knew it was an electromagnetic universe. They've always known it. And gravity as the primary component of planetary dynamics, I think most serious astronomers of the highest level would know that it's electromagnetic. They would know, right? And
Right.
they would calculate thusly. Otherwise, they wouldn't have all these instruments and all this data pouring into the university systems with it, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So, but yeah, they know it is. But see, the problem that I have with it is that in the primary school system, the elementary, high school, where most people education ends, right?
Yeah.
They basically lied to us.
Oh yeah.
You have to go to college to learn the truth, right?
Oh, and even there, you're not.
No. You can't get it in the 4-year degree. Oh, I didn't say that. You're going to have to become an astronomer or a physicist or astrophysicist. You're going to have to become somebody like that to learn the truth.
Yeah, and even then, I think there's only certain levels of people that actually learn the real truth.
Or they'll acknowledge that it's the truth, right? And they'll know it in their heart and their mind, but they dare not say anything about it when they get to that level, because 10 years on the line, their family, everything is on the line.
Yeah.
They won't necessarily come after and kill Steve Olson because he's just a yuck from Wisconsin, right? But if you're like, example, Robert Harrington, and you're the head of the U.S. Naval Observatory, and you start to have these revelations, and the government doesn't want anybody, or I should really say that the worldwide cabal doesn't want people to know about it, well, what's going to happen to you?
Yeah. Nothing good.
I'm getting sick of them killing people. I'm getting sick of the way that they do business, man. I've had it with this cabal. I've had it.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother show right there. I mean, we could go off into so many tangents on that subject.
But do you see this this reading on this instrument right here, this model?
Right.
Here?
Yes.
All right. So this is a combination. So remember I told you that the satellites all have sensors on them?
Yeah.
So this is a combination of data from several different sources and satellites, all blended together into one model. Okay. So it's like the most comprehensive electromagnetic view you can get of the Earth.
Right.
What the hell is this thing hanging out next to my Earth?
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that a few times.
But dude, look how it's got two distinct orb shapes to it. That matches with our photograph.
Yeah, sure does.
Go back to this. I'm not trying to pull something out of thin air. I've got 2 orbs here, and I've got 2 orbs here. Just saying.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting observation there.
But the one that we've been looking at lately, I'm going to delve into this more, but Naughty Beaver is the one that got me on it, was this whole seeing these cubes everywhere. This is the first time I
Yeah.
cube on this instrument. Okay.
Huh.
Where do you get a cube on this?
Exactly. There's usually no straight lines in nature like that.
That okay, and then that's on the dark side of the planet. So this is the sun facing side, and this is the the space facing side, right?
Yeah.
We've got this cube forming around the Earth. What the that, and then you'll notice that the pressure stops distinctly at that line too. There, none of it's getting inside the satellite band.
Yeah. What is that?
Are we being shielded? Yeah, that's what I wanted to look at. That is there some kind of a battle going on where maybe shields up, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can't make this up. You cannot make this up.
Well, no, this is, I mean, this is their instruments.
So I'm making a video right now. I had a subscriber sent me a bunch of cube videos that he had been collecting. So he had done he didn't know where this cube research was going to fit in, but then he saw the videos that Naughty Beaver and I did talking about the cube shape, and now he's going to bring forward his research so we can connect the dots. And do you see why they want to split this community up?
Oh, yeah, I mean, and it's getting worse. The censorship is just getting more and more terrible. They've changed algorithms on all the search engines. I mean, it's very noticeable.
There's that cube again, man. See it?
Yeah. Wow, look at that.
I know, right?
It's perfectly cutting off the sun there.
I'm sure that Universal News won't mind if she's so gracious. She took down this video and put it up on her backup channel. She did it just for me, and I really appreciate it. But this is her, photographing this huge triangular object seemingly landing in Alaska. Now, I'm not necessarily on board with that it was a craft landing yet. I'm still looking at it and like, oh my God, But anyway, this thing starts to show up and it will come down slowly over time. Down. Here it is right here. It's coming down.
Oh, I see it now.
You see it?
Yeah, very faintly, but it's there.
This is over several hours. Look, we got 2 orbs up here. Boom, boom, right? And then it kind of disappears. But I think that it was it possibly could have been some type of flare, but I think it was probably not something that was on the Earth. I think it was something that was flying by the Earth. That's my theory.
Huh.
Just some huge thing.
There's probably so much stuff up there that I'd love to know just half the things that are floating around up there.
Well, again, I mean, here's where she highlights it, and then she goes right in on it and does a real close up of it. Check this out. Look at that.
That is very odd. Yeah, that's a new one. Wow.
And she does she does such great work, man. Look at that. You guys got to check Universal News out too.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, since I'm going to put this, you're going to put it up on your channel. Why don't you tell us about your channel a little bit for the WSO audience, since you're being my buddy tonight?
All right. Well, I started a couple of years ago with Facebook, just reporting Earth changes, and I had a small network of people that would submit pictures and share pictures, and it just grew. I have almost 5,000 Facebook followers, and a group that we all share pictures and information from around the world. Then I started my YouTube channel, and I do news reports on Earth changes. I show the pictures that are shared in my group, and I take pictures myself. A lot of reports on Earth changes and interviews. Now I started doing interviews and with people like yourself. And that's where I'm at now. So it's starting to pick up a little bit, and hopefully we can keep going and reporting this important information that the people need to hear.
Oh, I agree, and we need to, like, and I love that you're interviewing WSO, and we're here to help you in any way we possibly can, and call me anytime, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that you send me all of the different platforms and links and everything, so I can put them in my description box so people can come find you. But
Yes.
your group has been sending me a lot of wild stuff, dude.
Yeah. I actually have some pictures here.
Okay, I'm gonna let go of the screen, bro.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see here. I am going to. What do I got to do here to undo this? Well, I think you can just take it, right? Oh, there we go. Now it's yours, brother.
Okay, let's see here. Can you see mine?
Yep.
All right. Let's start here.
This is the con captain.
What's that?
I said you take the con captain.
All right. Can you see what's on the screen here?
Oh, yes.
Okay, now I took this myself. This one is very fascinating to me. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I couldn't say that it's a planet or an object or just a deformation in the clouds. I didn't see it until after I looked at the picture, but it appears to be cutting off a little bit of the sun there, and you can see an edge all the way going down. And this one, it was, one of my favorites here. What do you think is going on here?
Yeah, again, so many huge orb shots over the last couple weeks, right? Where it appears that we're seeing the leading edge of humongous looking orbs.
Yeah, this one was actually over the summer here, but yeah, I've seen this lately as well. So yeah, that's that. Let's see what else we got here. That one, just an odd shaped cloud, I thought, but this one here, you can see another large orb, it would appear. And this one, another one of my favorites. Look at that defined edge there.
Yeah, and you can see some straight lines on it too.
Yeah. And it's enormous. Like I said, I don't know what to think about some of these. They're so huge.
What do you think about my theory about, look, when that thing really gets whacked by a dust storm or a small meteor, micrometeorite storm, or all that apparatus gets whacked? Do you think it's just going to be like, oh my God, and it's just going to be up in the sky? Like,
that would be amazing. And like this, look how enormous that's taken up half of the sky. I mean, could that be? Or is this a projection or just a glitch in the matrix? I mean, that's enormous.
Isn't it funny how we've created our own vernacular now? The glitch in the matrix now is like everybody knows what that means.
Now, I don't know if you can...
orbs again. Yeah.
What's that?
There's that double orb configuration again.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's this. I don't know if you can see, but I enhanced it in the next one. There it is. You see right here on the left side.
Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, you're uncovering the big ones.
Yeah, these are the big boys that I've seen. Most of the big boys I've seen last year. I haven't seen some of these larger ones this year. I've seen a lot of the smaller stuff this year.
Wow, there's some people that show me stuff that would almost convince me that what we're seeing, like in pictures like this, are the moons of humongous things that are so big that they fill up our whole sky right now. But what do I know?
Yeah, like I said, the more I research and learn, the less I know about what the hell's going on.
I mean, I can see it when you show me a picture like that. I can like that one. That is just, come on, man.
Yeah.
When you see a picture like that, it's like it just the first thing that kicks your ass is cognitive dissonance. The first thing you want to say is, that's just a cloud. It's got to be just a cloud. Why?
This one was cool. It's an eyeball.
Oh God, yeah, right on the dollar bill. Why don't you?
Yeah, the cognitive dissonance is strong.
No, I get it. I totally get it. It's taken me a long time to look at something. Wow, this is from February. That's pretty recent.
Yeah.
For a big, that's, oh, yeah. Yeah,
You see
see?
some, looks like stripes.
Yeah, right? Jeez. Oh,
Yeah, the enormity of some of these. Yeah, here's one.
again, it just, even for Nibiru, like Planet X researchers, long in tooth, been looking at it for a long time, the cognitive dissonance just kicks their ass when they see photographs like that. It does. They're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
it can't possibly be that close. Well, I still don't know how close it is. It could still be 10, 20 AU away and still fill up our whole sky. You don't understand how big objects get in the universe.
Our friend with the hole in it. You've seen this guy a bunch, huh?
Dude, you got to blow that one up. You got to zoom in on that a little bit.
Oh, let's see. How do I zoom in on that one? Uh, this one. I'm not.
Well, you don't absolutely have to because it's
I
pretty.
don't think. Oh, here we go.
Da, da, da.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, the orb with the hole in it. I'm sure you've seen that one a few times.
I'm just saying, we didn't see, guys, listen to me. The one thing that's remarkable about our discussion tonight, the stuff that you and I have been showing, our pictures, we didn't see anything like this 2 years ago. I didn't. You?
No.
You know, we would see like 3 little dots on all Skycam, and we'd all go out and start buying, extras rice and beans,
Yeah, there's another one of those. It illuminates the edge, so you know it's not a flare. It's not going to illuminate the edge of a flare.
Right. Now, these are the kind of ones that make me think that those are part of a lensing system.
Lensing, exactly. Yes, I think the same thing with these.
You see that lip on the end? That
Yeah.
there's like a lip on it.
Right.
That just screams manufactured to me.
Yeah, I think the same thing about those. This guy. Now you can almost see like a faint edge right there. I enhanced it. Check that guy out.
Oh, that's starting to look like our last orb from today.
And then we got this here.
Yeah, we're all going to get vindicated pretty soon, I'm afraid. I'm not sure that's going to be a pleasant experience. Right? What do you think is going to happen when we're vindicated?
Well, I'm hoping that you're kind of right about it's not going to be this catastrophe where the world blows up and everybody dies. It may be more of a regional is what I'm hoping for, or even nothing that would be that bad at all. I mean, it could be just an awakening, something to jar people into caring again. You know what I'm saying?
Well, do you ever look at look at that? That's a great image, by the way. That last one, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Forbidden Knowledge News. Yeah, you guys got to check out Forbidden Knowledge News. These are some great images you're putting up here, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, I got great sky watchers. They're on top of it.
But isn't it cool? Like, you built a little group and we built a group, and now as we're reaching out and connecting to each other, it's like the dots are coming together, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great that we can network and do this and have a platform. Well, right now, hopefully it'll stick around,
Yeah, I was getting into that right before we got whacked with a lot of family tragedy and stuff like that. That's what slowed that effort down. But I was getting into the small channel focus, and I'd like you to be a part of that when we started up again.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love that. That would be awesome. Now look at this here. That is definitely a solid object.
Wow, it's the edge is lit.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what you say about the edge being lit, guys, don't gloss over that comment. You can't, that edge is lit of something. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
There's that guy again.
No, I've seen that one before too.
Stripey. There's this one.
I think I saw the stripey one. I can't tell from that photograph exactly, but that's when I saw it with my own naked eye. The first time I saw it with my naked eye, that's the one I saw. And that actually has like a big smoke trail behind it, like a big trail. You can't see it in the picture, but that one does have a big smoke trail behind it. The last one.
Yeah, the stripe one.
Yeah.
There's this. See, again, it's lighting, it's illuminating that side. The sun is illuminating that side.
Yeah, anybody could see that.
There's a nice halo.
Yeah, if you can get past your, again, if this is the first time you've ever seen images like this, there's your eyeball again.
Yeah, get this.
If this is the first time that you've ever seen images like this, or you've ever considered the possibility that we're in a very crowded solar neighborhood, oh my, yeah, oh no.
What is this?
I don't like that one at all.
And it's behind the sun, so it's not a screen anomaly.
Is that like a close miss from a comet or something?
I have no idea. This one I'm baffled by.
Doesn't that look like the head of a, anyway? And again, it defy even right now. Like you showed me this image, right? And this is Steve Olson. I founder of WSO. I've been researching this stuff and built this channel, and we've had this huge community and blah blah blah. Right? You showed me this photograph. My first thought was that's not real. I'm still fighting cognitive dissonance to this day. To this day.
Yeah, that one I'm still trying to figure that out. Trying to debunk it myself because just don't know.
I don't either. That one just in my mind. That looks like just a little bit fainter. The last one was just a little bit fainter of the same object that we.
Yeah, the stripe with the orb in the hole. There's that one again. I think I'm going backwards here. I think that was it for my photos. I have thousands more, but that would take forever, and we got plenty of shows we could do.
No, again, it's like, okay, so you can see, you know what I mean? It's like you can see these images, and what it does to me is it validates what we've been trying to say, but there's a lot of people that knock the spiritual side of this thing, right? And I'm here to say that, okay, since this has all happened, my life has a wrecking ball has gone through it, okay? And at the end of the process, now I'm not at the end of the process yet, but I can tell that there's a refining fire going on. And as this continually gets closer, it almost seems like people are, it's like a truth bomb in itself, like some kind of a magical, I don't want to say magical, but it's got almost some kind of effect of lowering the distortion pattern, okay? As this stuff comes closer, it's wrecking their distortion patterns, and more people are waking up. But I'm coming to see that this is all a spiritual battle. All of it is. This is an ancient cycle, ancient battle. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to monopolize it.
Oh, no, I would agree. I definitely agree. Spirituality is key. No matter what you believe, you need something to hold on to, some kind of spirituality, especially right now. Things aren't going to get better anytime soon.
Well, where I'm coming from is that, why would you, as a Nibiru Planet X researcher, even if you're an agnostic or an atheist, okay, why would you ever discount the eschatology of all the world's major religions that every single one of them talk about this event?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can't obviate the faith component, because if I'm speaking to a Muslim, for example, in the Quran, and many of the imams of the various Muslim sects, etc., are deep eschatologists. They study the end prophecies, okay? And this is in spades in the Quran. The Buddhists talk about it. The Sumerians talked about it. The Christian Bible talks about it. Hinduism talks about it.
Yeah. Even the ancient Chinese
talks about it. The ancient Chinese talk about it.
Yeah.
So how did we become all of a sudden crazy when we talk about it? How did that happen?
That's by design. That's all by design.
But do you think that people are starting to kind of even wake up to that kind of stuff?
I do. I've noticed a lot more people have started to wake up. I've actually noticed a decrease in trolls on my Facebook page recently. I used to deal with it nonstop, just troll after troll. But recently, more and more people seem more aware of what's going on around them. And they do seem to be waking up a little bit, that I've noticed. And that's kind of encouraging.
Well, that's probably a good place to finish it. The comment on the trolls. I have also noticed a dramatic decrease in troll activity. So one of the larger, YouTube channels, WSO, I used to have to deal with probably 20 or 30 trolls a day, and now I'm down to maybe one or two.
Yeah.
So that is an interesting phenomenon because it almost tells you that the government's given up on it.
Well, I don't know if I'd go as far as saying that, but it is an encouraging thing, definitely.
Or maybe they're done with that phase of the attack and now they're getting ready for the like you've again, I'm not into fear porn or anything like that, but you got to pay attention, right? And when several alt news sources are talking about the FBI, or not the FBI, but the federal government, the three-letter agencies going into their doomsday preparation, right? We all should pay attention to that, guys. I mean, even if it's just like a false scare or whatever, if that makes you prep a little bit and get a little bit more ready and think about your plan and communicate your plan with your family. We just had a discussion in my family last night. Casually, we're just having dinner together and playing Catan. Just having a friendly night. And we spent 5 minutes talking about if the shit hits the fan and the communications go down. We all know we meet here. We all know we bring this then. We all know we're going in this direction then. And everybody is locked down. We all know that if the shit hits the fan, we all, and that's what I mean by prepping. It doesn't always mean like putting a bunch of stocks up and all that kind of stuff. That, I don't know if it's a good strategy or bad strategy, quite frankly. My strategy is to be ready to be mobile. And then have a ultimate destination to go to where you're going to bug out to. And that's our strategy, right? And as long as my family knows the plan, and we have our prep for that. It was at this 5-minute discussion before we played a board game. You know what I mean? And you're saying, well, Steve, I thought you had all this personal stuff going on. Listen, man, if we didn't stop and take a break and play a board game once in a while, we'd crack. So don't get on my case because I'm playing board games with my younger son, okay?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean by prepping. It's 5-minute conversation. Look, I don't care if you believe me, if you think I'm crazy or not. But if the communications go down, will you agree to meet me here?
Right. Yeah.
That's prepping. That's prepping.
Exactly.
Yeah,
something everybody have a plan.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, if there's anything else any final notes you'd like to leave us with, anything you got going on your side you'd like to tell us about?
Oh, I do. And again, I make no bones, and I will not be ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And it's known as the Bible of Jesus Christ. We've come to learn that his real name is Yeshua. I had to learn it too, right? They changed his name. That's how bad they hated him. So it is critically important that you find forgiveness and you find your peace in whatever faith that leads you to the Father. But in my faith, the only way to the Father is through Jesus Christ. And what that means is the only way to the Father is through love. So get into a spiritual mode. This is not the time to be backing off spirituality. This is a time to get deep in your faith, whatever it is.
Great. Yeah, I would agree. You do need spirituality. You got anything else going on with your channel lately? Anything coming up?
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff coming up, but a lot of our plans are delayed because of the kind of tragedies and stuff that we've got going on. But we're getting ready to launch a bunch of different stuff. But my personal thing I will tell you though is one of the things we're doing is I'm writing a book.
Really? Oh, okay.
And it's to set the record straight. It's going to be my autobiography from the last 2 years.
Oh, awesome. Well, you have to let us know.
A lot of people, want to know, Steve, what happened, and all that kind of stuff. And there's lots of rumors and lies out there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Steve's perspective on what went down in the last 2 years. That's going to be my book.
Cool. Well, yeah,
And
let us know when that comes out.
It's going to be a tell-all. I'm going to talk about all the channels and all the channel wars and all the intrigue, subterfuge, and tit for tat. And I'm just going to lay it all out there. So be looking for that this summer.
Great. Awesome. Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining us. It was a great, awesome conversation, and I'd like to have you back sometime. We might be able to get something regular going.
Oh, I'd love to come back, and I'll look for your invites. And like I said, send me the links to all your other channels and everything. Make sure I get it right in my description. I'll make sure that get this video up so people come check out your channel too.
Very good. Sounds awesome. Thanks again, Steve. It was great talking to you.
Great talking to you too, bro.
Thanks. Bye-bye.